The killing of Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe shocked people after the killer revealed his motives. Tetsuya Yamagami said he killed Abe because of his links to the Unification Church, popularly perceived as a cult with massive levels of influence in Japan historically. Known for its mass weddings, aggressive fundraising campaigns, and the near-messianic presence of its leader Moon, the church wields tremendous influence over its followers. Yamagami claims his mother was driven to bankruptcy because of her activities for the church, and he saw Abe as a church collaborator because of his family's ties to the institute. So what exactly is this church which has been able to amass such influence in Japan? The Unification Church, also known as the Moonies cult after its founder Sang Myung Moon, was founded in the Busan province of South Korea in 1954. Moon was an excommunicated Presbyterian minister who claimed he received a revelation by Jesus when he was 15, prompting him to start the church. The church started with a few group of followers loyal to Moon and expanded after missionary missions were sent to countries like Japan. Moon settled along with his family in America in the early 1970s, where the movement blossomed among the white middle-class educated young people. The church has been criticized for exploiting people to further its own business interests. Indeed, the movement boasts a multi-billion-dollar empire with diverse business interests ranging from the paper The Washington Post, a hotel in New York, and one of America's first sushi restaurants. So how did the movement's message resonate with so many people? Moon had been born in what is now North Korea. He was kept in the Hangnam prison camp between 1948 and 1950. He claimed he was tortured at the camp for his anti-communist beliefs until he found eventual passage to the south. The unification of Korea remained a critical concern for Moon throughout his life. The accomplishment of heavenly democracy could only be achieved after the defeat of communism. Moon's rhetoric granted him an audience with sympathetic politicians such as Reagan during the peak of the Cold War. The Unification Church claims Jesus has been sent to restore God's love to the world. Jesus died before he had the chance to marry. As the second coming of Jesus, Moon had the chance to raise the one true family. He preached that Adam and Eve's fornication had led to the prevalence of selfish love throughout the world. After his marriage to Haq Jahan in 1960, Moon was given the chance to cleanse the world of sin by becoming true parents to their true children, which were the followers of the church. The kingdom on earth which they worked to establish would mirror the heavenly world, as future revelations by Moon emphasize the centrality of his own family in the process. When Moon's son, Hyung-jin, was killed in a road accident, he claimed his son's sacrifice had prevented a great calamity happening to the Korean nation or Moon himself. While Hyung-jin was busy teaching Jesus in the spirit realm, Moon arranged an appropriate match for his son. Hoon San-pak, the director of the Universal Ballet of Korea, was subsequently married to the spirit of Moon's deceased son. Marriage was a critical component of the movement's activities. Moon's charisma and messianic presence meant he could wield significant control over the followers' life, including who they could marry, where they could live, and how they present themselves. The mass weddings which were organized by the movement drew widespread public attention, with Moon breaking the Guinness World Record of the greatest number of people simultaneously married at a single venue. The marriage ceremony included a holy wine ceremony, where the couple acknowledged their fallen nature and marked their transition to true parents with a change in their blood lineage. The major source of income for the organization is Japan. Critics accuse the church leaders of exploiting members' labor and capital, with billions of dollars transferred from Japan to the US to build its business empire. Former members of the church have described how they have spent hours fundraising for the church only for their earnings of the day to be seized by senior members. The satisfaction which followers were to gain from this was the cleansing of their souls. Moon's empire has been leveled with multiple charges of tax evasion. Courts in Japan have ordered the church to return money to people who were coerced to pay, with $34,000 given back to a former member. Surprisingly, grief over Abe's death turned to sympathy and understanding for the assailant as waves of anger rippled through Japan over the exploitation under the church and their deep ties to the ruling party. The party and the Prime Minister Fumio Kishida scrambled to detangle themselves from the church. After Moon's death in 2012, family members have opened their own factions of the church, as squabbles amongst the king determine who the future true family will be. Moon's wife maintains a hold over the organization's activities in East Asia, while his two sons preach for armed revolution in the United States. Japan has launched legal proceedings against the church as they determine its future status in the country. While the authorities may change the organization's tax status in Japan, senior officials within the party maintain its popularity cannot be challenged.